first real relationship that I ever got in, I remember in the very beginning, man, all I saw was red flag after red flag. I'm not gonna lie. I was 17 at the time, and I hate to admit this, but the only reason why I was pursuing this girl was simply because my friends were making fun of me, because at that point I had never even kissed a girl yet. I was so fearful of, I think it was like 4 or 5 months to my 18th birthday, and that was like my biggest fear, was to turn 18 and still have never gotten a smooch. And so that thought was just terrifying. And so when I met this girl at this party, I mean, yeah, I thought she was cute, but to be honest, I didn't really see myself with her. But what happened? My friends start poking fun at me and start saying, you ain't gonna do nothing, bro. You ain't gonna pursue her. They were saying things like, ain't no way you gonna ask her for her number. And I was like, all right, bet. And so I go for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty dang proud of myself. Up until that point, I had never pursued a woman, so I was kind of surprised in myself. I kind of held my head up a little higher, right? But hey, in all honesty, deep down, I knew she wasn't the one. And basically, long story short, the biggest mistake I made at that time was not having some sort of standard for myself. Not having like some sort of mental checklist of the type of woman that I desired. Now, don't get me wrong, she wasn't a bad girl at all. She just wasn't the girl for me. And my little knucklehead ass at that time, I probably was not a good fit for her by any means either. But anyways, as time went by, I think we dated for about 4 months. It wasn't too long, but every red flag that I saw, I just kept turning a blind eye over and over again, because my main mission was to get that first kiss. And of course, bro, just my luck, after like a week of dating, she opens up and tells me that she's not proud of her past and that she wants to save our first kiss till her 18th birthday, which is like 8 months away. So I'm now sitting here being like, oh gosh, now I'm stuck in this thing, bro. I'm in way too deep. Now, don't get me wrong, bro, like I wasn't a straight degenerate at this time. I was starting to fall for her, right? And I was starting to gain some serious feelings for her, and I believe at that time I actually truly did love her, and I was thinking about eventually maybe possibly marrying her. But it's just kind of funny because at that time, bro, like now my friends were making fun of me even harder because I'm spending all this time with her, buying her all these gifts, taking her to all these restaurants, treating her real nice, and I'm not even getting a single smooch out of the deal, bro. Like the first initial thing, the reason why I was even kind of dating her in the first place, like I'm not even getting that, and I'm just like, frick me, bro. And so just long story short, I'm spending all this time with her, and so of course I'm starting to gain these feelings. I'm starting to you know, kind of fall for her, but at the same time, bro, all these red flags just keep coming up over and over again. And so anyways, I'll share the rest of the story in another video, but long story short, the relationship ends atomically. It all just blows up, and really I have no one else to blame but myself. Looking back now, hindsight 2020, this all could have been avoided if I would have just simply had some standards, and if I just would have been aware of those red flags. So with that said, hey look, I want to take this time right now to share with you guys 12 red flags that will save you major headache. Kicking it off with number 1, you guys don't share the same vision. Now that same girl that I was dating, I remember specifically one time I told her that we were looking through this like magazine or something, and there's this dude that was just ripped and he had a big old 6-pack, and I told her, one day I'm gonna look like that. I promise you, I'm gonna be just as chiseled and just as jacked as that guy. And she looked at me and she kind of just like scoffed. She's like, okay. And I was like, no, I'm serious. I will. I promise you. You wait and see. And she's like, she kept going like that, and kept making that face. And I was just like, what the heck, bro? And I was just kind of sitting there, a little bit pissed off, and I was like, okay, bet. And that's always just kind of stuck with me a little bit, kind of deep down, you know? And obviously, you know, it did take me some time after that, but I mean, you guys have seen my Instagram, you guys have seen some of the fitness videos that I post. I achieved it. I got there. Now I know like that interaction between me and my ex, that was just kind of like a small, you know, infinitesimal kind of thing, really not that big of a deal. But at the same time, like, you got to be equally yoked with each other. And I'm not talking about like just like little fitness like stuff like that example I just gave you. I'm just talking about everything, your vision for life, your direction for life. You guys need to have the same faith. You need to have the same kind of beliefs. They always say like, oh, opposites attract, right? And I just think that's such BS, bro. Opposites attract, that's just disaster waiting to happen. Nah, bro, like when I first met Bree, that was like the first thing I noticed was like, we're like exactly the same. Like we have the same beliefs about everything. We enjoy all the same things. We like have the same hobbies, the same, we like the same type of music, same type of movies, and it just makes our relationship effortless. What I like, she likes, and what she likes, I like. And that's why honestly we're, you know, people say all the time, like if you know us personally, everybody says the same thing. We're inseparable. We love just doing everything together. This is why we are best friends. We really never butt heads on like anything, bro. Which is really nice, you know, it saves me a lot of headache. This way I can really stay mission focused about my purpose, about YouTube. I don't have to worry about her getting mad at me really for anything. Imagine if Bree and I were always getting in fights, always butting heads, always disagreeing on everything, and then I come in here for 6-7 hours at a time trying to record videos, my mental headspace, bro, my mental health isn't gonna fully be there. I'm not gonna be as effective with my mission, right? So finding a girl that's similar to you, that kind of shares the same goals, the same hobbies, that's like, if you're into fitness, she's into fitness. If you're into health, she's into health. That's a very positive thing, bro, and it's just gonna make your life, your relationship just so much more easier, so much more effortless. It says right here in Proverbs 21:19, I have it pulled up, it says, "It is better to live in a desert land than with a quarrelsome and fretful woman." Quarrelsome basically meaning moody, and fretful basically meaning distressed, miserable. Number 2, she has constant girls' night outs. Beware of this one, my brothers. Now, hey, look, there's a difference between every once in a while she goes out with her friends and enjoys herself versus going out every weekend, multiple times, like every single weekend, right? Especially, bro, especially if her friends are promiscuous. You gotta really be aware and watch who her friends are. This right here is another recipe for disaster. The Bible also says, I don't mean to keep on getting religious on you guys, but it says, bad company corrupts good character. So even if you got yourself a good girl, bro, be aware if her friends are very degenerate, very promiscuous. I mean, you guys know the motto, you guys know the quote, you are who you hang around with. And if your girl is constantly immersing herself into degenerate environments, hanging out with degenerate people, there will come a point where it starts to rub off on her. It will. It happened to anybody. It even happened to you and I. If we're always going out with our bros and going out to, say, different clubs, eventually that's going to lead one thing to another. It's going to maybe lead you into a strip club, and then from a strip club to the next craziest, wildest thing. So you just have to be smart, bro. If you're in a relationship, both you guys need to set boundaries, not just for each other, but also as individuals when you guys are out alone kind of doing your own thing. Like my wife and I, bro, we've set up boundaries over the years, and we've really safeguarded our relationship. She goes out maybe once a year with her friends. All the other times, you know, if we do go out with friends, like it's Bree and I together, right? It's not us like going out by ourselves. But yeah, she'll usually have like one night a year where she'll go out to maybe Vegas or something like that, get a hotel. But the whole time, bro, she's texting me, she's sending me pictures, she's calling me up about every hour, just informing me where she's at, what she's doing. And this is not even something I demand of her. You know, I might just say like, hey, just let me know every once in a while where you're at, if you guys are good. Just kind of keep me in the loop. And she'll do that and go even over and above. Like I said, she'll send me pictures and just really keep me informed every hour or so. And this is just what a good woman does. She'll respect her man and not hide anything. The third red flag is she's addicted to social media. Not only will social media create superficial values in her, but it's also gonna make her start to compare herself to other women, other girls, right? And not only that, it'll also start making her compare you to other men that she's seeing on this app as well. Hey, look, honestly, my guy, social media has absolutely destroyed our current generation of both men and women. You got like Kim Kardashian, bro, and all these like fake, injected, filtered, hot dog lip looking freaking looking chicks, and all these apps are doing are just making people more self-centered, more superficial, which in the Bible, it says in the book of Revelation, it says in end times this would happen, literally. So honestly, I'm not even surprised. And so, hey, look, when apps like this are introduced to the world, you gotta be aware of these things, bro, and you gotta turn away from them, and you gotta find some sort of balance, and you gotta know when to turn away from them. I mean, the guys who build these apps, bro, they literally study addictive substances and what it does to the brain, and then they apply it to their platform. That's just mind-boggling, bro. It's like they've literally created this virtual digital drug, and they want you addicted to it. They want you constantly on it, because the more that you're on it, the more that you can't just get enough of it, the more they're profiting. I know this sounds like super hippie and like us versus the man, but it is what it is, my dude. So hey, look, addiction comes in all forms, whether it's through substances, whether it's through social media. I mean, you wouldn't want to have a girl who's an alcoholic, right? You wouldn't want to have a girl who's a drug addict. And now look, hey, I'm not saying that a woman who's on social media, who has an Instagram account, I'm not saying that she's bad. I'm just saying if she's on it like every single second of the day, basically, this is a major red flag. And this may need to be a conversation that you need to have with her about your relationship, that both you guys need to limit the social media, maybe keep it to a minimum, maybe 30 minutes a day. And especially, bro, especially like when you're out on dates and you're spending alone time with that person, you need to know when to either turn your phones off or just kind of keep them to the side, keep them away. I can't tell you how many times I see couples out and about, and not even young couples. I'm talking about like, because I live in a like an old kind of community, and I see 50 and 60-year-olds, bro. They're out on like dates with their spouses, and they're both just on their phones, not even saying a word to each other. It's a trip. And I don't know, just for me personally, when I'm laying on my deathbed, bro, thinking about all the previous times, thinking about all the things maybe I should have done versus what I should have, and the last thing I want to be thinking about is, you know, these dates that I went on, but I paid no attention to my wife. I was too distracted by my phone. You know, like all my memories are just this the whole time. Those are all my memories playing back. That's a pretty harsh regret that I don't want to have. So anyways, enough of my little rant. Let's move on to number 4. She's rude to people beneath her. The fact that a woman is rude to anyone, for that matter, is one of the biggest red flags of them all. Because you guys might be in your little romantic in love stage. Things might be looking real nice and full of bliss. But eventually, bro, when you get over that hump of the in love stage, the romantic stage, once like that real life starts to set in, she might start looking at you a lot differently. Especially you being her boyfriend or her husband. I mean, she's gonna feel most comfortable around you because she's around you most of the time. And if she's rude to other people, if she's demeaning to waiters, waitresses, if she's dishonoring and disrespectful to her dad, you're next in line, bro. I promise you. Honestly, bro, it's not even natural for a woman to look down on somebody. It's not natural. It's not even natural for a man either, but at the same time, like a man, he has to judge certain scenarios, if you know what I'm saying. I know that whole, like there's that whole quote, only God can judge me, but as a man, you do gotta judge certain people in certain situations and make sure that those kind of people are safe to even allow around you, around your inner circle. You need to make sure that you're judging certain situations to make sure that you're placing yourself and your family in good, healthy environments. So as a man, yeah, you need to kind of look, not necessarily down on people, but you need to be aware of those people. It's kind of like a dad when he has a daughter, right? When that daughter is first dating the boy, his natural reaction is to look down on the boy, right? Be like, what are you up to, right? Kind of like that distrust. It's kind of just like a natural instinct. I'm not saying it's like okay to do, but it's just more of a natural instinct versus a woman. That shouldn't be natural for a woman to just automatically look down on someone. And the only reason that she would be doing that is because she's probably seeing it, like we said in number 3, she's addicted to social media. She's seeing what all these other girls are doing and how they're treating other people because they've put themselves on this pedestal. They're so entitled, right? And so girls are just constantly copying whatever they see on media, whatever they see on TV. But just to kind of wrap this up, number 4, a woman's natural instinct should not be to look down. It should be, you know, her natural tendencies should be warmth, radiance, kindness, gentleness, sweetness. Those are the kind of traits that should be exuding out of a woman. Number 5, she's been in a lot of relationships now. A lot, hey, I'll let you decide what, you know, how much is too much. For me personally, I think once you're hitting like 4, 5, 6 relationships and above with different men, I'm starting to think that's a little too much now, especially for a girl in her 20s, the way I see it. I mean, if it's a sexual romantic relationship, right? Like she's having sex with different men, okay, you know, that's kind of a lot of wiener juice, bro. I just don't want that. And besides like that, the sexual part, typically because she's constantly trying to find her value, her worth, and she's hopping around in all these relationships just trying to find that. She's constantly seeking it, not knowing that she's already valuable as she is. She doesn't need to do anything. She doesn't need to give away her value in all these relationships. And I've said this before in like shorts on YouTube, and I've had a lot of girls come on there saying, oh, that's not fair. You can't judge me. Only God can judge me. And it's just like, I feel like that whole term, only God can judge me, I feel like that's just an excuse to go out and do what you want and be degenerate. I feel like, you know, degenerate, promiscuous girls always use that term, don't judge me. Because at the end of the day, if you say that, you know, it's a great way for you to feel better about yourself. Like I was saying earlier, bro, like as a man, you do gotta somewhat judge a girl's past, right? You don't, I'm not saying to hold it against her, but you do gotta somewhat judge the past to determine the future. Your past may not define you, but it sure does speak volumes. In every situation in life, if you look at like any sort of analytics or anything, bro, the past is used to predict the future. It's like here on this channel, when I'm creating videos, I gotta look back at past videos, their analytics, how they performed, and I gotta judge it, I gotta analyze it, I gotta look at what worked, what didn't. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not into shaming people. I'm not into pointing the finger at them and making them feel devalued. And if a girl has, this is just my beliefs, if a girl truly has transformed and became new, then hey, that's great. Jesus himself, he redeemed murderers, he redeemed adulterers. And so if a girl says, hey, do you really truly care about my past, the things that I've done? Well, then you gotta ask her, is your past truly your past? And if she says yes, then okay, take things slow, continue to analyze the situation, analyze her, and if she's truly changed, she's living for God, she's, you know, got clear direction, and she's got focus, she's got aim, she's got new values, awesome, bro. But I'm just saying, most of the time when people say, oh yeah, I've changed, okay, well, let's look at your fruit first. Let's look at your IG. Let's look at the way that you present yourself, the way that you hold yourself, the way that you clothe yourself. So again, I'm not saying that if a girl's been in a lot of relationships that it's a make or break, but I'm just saying it is a red flag, and to be aware of it. The sixth red flag is she doesn't celebrate you. This is what makes Bree, my wife, just so special, bro. Literally, like, if I'm gone out of the house for a few hours and I come home, it's almost like a little mini celebration, bro. When I come in, she greets me with just so much enthusiasm, so much joy, a big old giant smile on her face. You guys have seen her, she's got a smile that just brightens up the world, bro, and her voice is like the voice of an angel, and it hits you, bro. And it's just, it's special, bro, when a girl can do that for you. When a girl can celebrate you. When a girl, bro, when she's just on fire for you. And there's no greater feeling, there's no greater reward, nothing tops it when you come home every day to that. And so, hey, look, I don't mean to keep on like talking about Bree all the time in my videos, but she's like my trophy, bro, and I just can't stop talking about her. I mean, hey, if you were married to her, you'd probably do the same exact thing. You'd be ecstatic, I promise you. So, hey, moving on to number 7, she's not grateful. Now, gratitude, my brother, gratitude in a relationship goes a long way. The words thank you, just those 2 words are so powerful. And just on a side note, this is something for you that you need to practice too, lots. Bro, like this needs to be like your 2 main words that you say to your girl. Thank you for every little thing, even the little small infinitesimal things. Like for instance, bro, anytime I ask my wife to like get me a soda out of the fridge or something, she'll go in there and there'll always be like a little, if you really look at a soda can, there's always like little dust particles, or like there'll even be like dirt sometimes in there. Like really look, an energy drink, whatever. And she'll take it, she'll wipe it off, she'll like blow on it, get all the dust off, open it up for me and give it to me. It's like even those little small little things like that where she's looking out for me, and I really appreciate that, and I'll let her know. So hey, look, but what I'm trying to say here is this is the type of relationship that you want, bro. You want a relationship that's just full of just revolving gratitude. And not only do you want a girl who's grateful for you, but who's just grateful in general. The more grateful a person is, the more happy they are, the more joyful they are, the more you just want to be around them. When a person's pessimistic all the time, always looking at the cup half empty, I mean, who wants to be around a person like that? It just gets irritating. And not only irritating, it's completely draining, bro. Those type of people are like vampires. They'll suck the life out of you. Number 8, she has toxic family and friends. Now imagine this, bro. Imagine you find this treasure map and it says that the hidden treasure is right here in this location. So you take a plane flight out and you arrive at that location. You see this piece of land, but obviously you can't dig in it until you buy the land because it's not your land. So you end up taking all your life savings, right, and you buy this piece of land. Say it's $100 grand, right, $100,000. So you end up spending all your money on it. Now you have the piece of land. So it's a massive piece of land. Say it's I don't know, 20 acres. It's massive, right? And you hire all these guys, and you guys end up digging on that piece of land, that piece of field for 2-3 years, right? And you guys are digging and digging and digging. You're even out there yourself, bro. Blood, sweat, and tears, year after year after year, and finally, dum, dum, dum. There it is. So you start digging up, oh, you get the treasure chest, and then bam, you're so excited. You open it, it's gonna be all worth it, right? All you see, couple little golden coins, you see a couple little gems, and 1 golden cup. And you realize the amount of this doesn't even break even of how much you bought the entire land for. And you're like, oh crap, that was a bad investment. Now, what I'm trying to get at here is when you go into a relationship, when you get married, you think you're buying just the treasure, just the woman, right? But you're not. You're also buying the massive huge field. And who knows, will that treasure be worth what the map said it would be worth? Would it be worth the amount that you actually bought everything for? So when it comes to a woman, bro, you're not just getting the treasure, you're also getting the friends, you're also getting the family, you're getting the good, the bad, you're getting her baggage, you're getting her struggles. So you gotta really take the time and ask yourself, is the treasure, is the woman, does she far outweigh everything else? Oh, Dre, but I'm not marrying the family. I'm just marrying her. Yeah, okay, bro. Come Christmas time, guess who you're chilling with? When your relationship is a little rocky, you guys are going through a little bit of struggles, guess who she's gonna be going to get advice from? And guess who's gonna be getting the brunt? You, my brother. So remember that, bro. When you go into the relationship, don't just look at the girl and how amazing she is. Also look at the friends. Also look at the family. Because you're not just marrying the girl, you're marrying all of it. Number 9, the bad mouth. Now, if someone is constantly trashing their ex, constantly talking down on them, it's doubtful that they're even emotionally ready to handle a new relationship with you. Unresolved hurt and anger, what does it do? It blocks the heart, it creates bitterness, and it might be hard for them to love again if they don't face their issues and heal. And what happens is when you see somebody, whoever, whether it's the girl you're talking to, the girl you're dating, or anybody for that matter, one of your friends, family members, when you see them bad-mouthing and putting down other people constantly and blaming them and pointing the finger at them, basically what this means is they don't know how to own up to anything. They don't know how to take any kind of responsibility, to have humility. See, those things, you know, taking responsibility and owning up, those are some of the toughest choices in life to make. But at the same time, they're necessary. Humility is necessary if you want to move forward, if you want to have fruitful relationships. If that person that you're with, that you're dating, that you're starting to see, if they don't know how to take any blame whatsoever, if you see them just full of bitterness and anger towards their exes, again, bro, you're next in line. If someone can so easily badmouth their ex, then they should be able to balance that and say, well, this is the parts where I was wrong as well, that these are the parts that I could have done better and that I will do in this relationship. Number 10, she's unapologetic and slow to forgive. This is a major one, bro. Majorest red flag of them all. Girls who have no humility, bro, kind of like I was just saying. Mayday, mayday, because you're going down. And this goes for you too, bro, for both men and women. When couples don't have any humility and all they care about is being right rather than just trying to actually attack the problem and actually better the relationship, look, this is just gonna end up in complete disaster. I'm just telling you this first and foremost. As a man and as a woman, you guys are gonna be falling short every single day. Every single day you're gonna probably say a little something that offends the other person, and you gotta be quick to forgive. You gotta constantly be handing out forgiveness. Now, of course, if that person really does something detrimental to the relationship, like if she's constantly cheating on you, bro, or you're constantly cheating on her, I don't know, whatever the case is, like something on that magnitude, okay, then that's a little bit more of a problem. If she's catching you constantly checking out other girls on Instagram or constantly watching prawn or DMing certain people that you shouldn't be DMing or liking other girls' photos or, you know, anything in that manner, okay, then she has something to be freaking pissed off about because you're just being a freaking dumb nut. And if you do that, if you happen to do that, if you make a mistake, you gotta do better, bro. You gotta progress. You can't be doing this stuff. That's just straight up a no. That's not what masculine men do. But at the same time, if you're constantly progressing and you have slip-ups along the way, and if she's sitting there constantly demeaning you, constantly just not forgiving you, and she's constantly hanging stuff over your head, maybe stuff you've done 3-4 months ago, that's probably not the type of girl that you're gonna wanna build a life with and be in a relationship with for the long haul. And if you think about it, unforgiveness, it actually results in distrust. I mean, if you know in your head that your girl is constantly gonna be holding stuff over your head and not forgiving you for it, I mean, be real with yourself. You're gonna start holding back from telling her certain things. You're gonna start keeping information from her. You're gonna be real secretive. You're gonna start creating this other secret life that she doesn't even know about, right? Which is gonna open up the door to many other temptations and just bad things. Number 11, she does drugs. Now, this might be a little controversial. Drugs range from all sorts of things. For me, that's kind of like starting with weed and going up from there, going up and beyond. for me, these kinds of things, bro, it's just it's a gateway. It's a gateway to do even more degenerate things. If you're the type of person that smokes all the time, that does drugs all the time, more than likely you're gonna start drinking all the time. You're gonna start getting wasted, maybe even being an alcoholic. You're gonna wanna party more. You're gonna wanna do more just degenerate things. At least I know that's what happened to me. There was a couple years ago where I started smoking just a little bit of weed, right? And at first I thought it was gonna be all fun and games, and I thought I would just, it wasn't that serious, right? And all of a sudden, I just kept pushing the envelope. I started doing more worse and worse things. And I'll leave that for a whole nother video, but what I'm trying to say here is it's a gateway. When you start doing these things, you start hanging out with people who start doing these things. And you might look at me right now and be like, oh, Dre, no, it's not that serious. I'm speaking from my own experience here. And at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself, bro, are these things, are these substances, are they helping me become a better purpose? Are they keeping me mission focused? If I have a girl in my life who does these things, is it tempting me? Am I eventually gonna fall and start doing the same things and it's gonna veer me off track? So me personally, the best way just to avoid all that is just not even to be with somebody who does those things. At the end of the day, me personally, I want to stay in God's will, because if I'm in God's will, I'm following His plan for my life. I know I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be all right. And me personally, I just don't think having a person who's addicted to these certain substances, I don't think that's God's will for my life. If I was to ask him one-on-one, hey, do you think I should be with this person? I mean, what do you think he's gonna say? Yeah, you should be with her. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she smokes weed. She's an alcoholic. She parties with degenerate people. Yeah, you should probably be with her. Yeah, I don't think Jesus would say such a thing. I don't think he would want you to involve yourself in a relationship like that. And now, speaking of God, I don't mean to get too religious on you guys. You guys know I'm not religious. I have my own personal relationship with Christ. But this 12th red flag, that's a big one, especially for me, and I think you guys could agree on this if you just hear me out. The 12th red flag is she doesn't submit to God's will. Look, hey, and I'm speaking from my own experience right here. When you have a girl who genuinely follows Christ, when you have a girl like this, she's gonna have a better understanding of how to love genuinely, how to be her most feminine, godly, natural self, right? All in turn is just gonna be more beneficial for you. Look, let's face it, girls who don't follow the Bible, who don't read their word, they don't know how to love effectively. They don't know what it means to be the true definition of what a wife should be. Oh, but Dre, that doesn't matter, bro. She's good for me, dude. She's good for me. Trust me. She loves me good. Which, hey, okay, I'm just speaking from my own opinion here. But I've learned that when you have a girl that has no higher authority, the only authority in her life is just herself. She answers only to her. I don't know, man. This just kind of leaves the door open for anything to happen. If she's got no standard that she sticks to, she can change her mind about something. She can change her viewpoint. But when her viewpoints are attached to God's word is final. It never changes. So she's constantly attached to that. When she submits to God and not her own authority, not her own ideology and her own little concepts, when she's constantly attached to that source, bro, that source is gonna lead her. It's gonna guide her to become the best possible wife, period. If she doesn't have that, she's gonna be looking outside the Bible for her value, for her direction. She's gonna start looking to social media. She's gonna start looking to celebrities and be like, oh, okay, this is how I should act. Oh, okay, this is how I should be. And as we know, those things are evil, bro, and they're gonna lead her off course. Oh, but Dre, no, but she looks to me for her authority. Yeah, she looks to me. That's even worse, bro. You're a freaking knucklehead. We're all knuckleheads. I mean, what happens when you start falling off track? Because you will. We always do. We always slip up. We always fall a little off track. It's just in our nature. It's in our bones to be dimwits sometimes, right? And when that happens, who's she gonna look to now? Culture, media, or God? This is why you want to find a girl who has God as that foundation of her life, because she's building that house on rock, not on sand. There's been times in my own life, in my own marriage, bro, you guys have heard my stories where I'm falling way off track, bro, and my wife has to reel me back in sometimes and be like, hey, I don't think God wants us to do that. And she kind of has to like shake me up a little bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry, I apologize, and I have to get myself back on track. And so with that said, I kind of want to end it off here with a couple verses from the book of Proverbs. It says, a wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. I love that verse, bro. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Powerful, bro. That's the type of girl you want. I know I got mines. I know I got my Proverbs 31. And so my encouragement to you guys is just be patient. Wait for the right one. Wait for a girl who the green flags far outweigh the red. In fact, I actually made a video on 12 green flags if you want to check that out. I'll put it right here. That's a great video. You don't want to miss it. Other than that, hey bro, give this video a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop new content. Masculine Masterclass is available down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace always.